It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we've got a beer from Black Sheep Brewery, and this is a bottle of their Blitzen. Described as a ruby Christmas ale. It's 4% ABV. And I think this has kind of like, well, it's definitely going to be a ruby beer, but they talk about on the back of the bottle here being that they've used Cascade and golden hops, and it's rich dark fruits laid on a bed of sweetened roasted malt. So there's a little bit of roasted malt to help make that beer ruby. It's got a black bottle cap with a Masham Black Sheep bottle cap image on the label. Black Sheep Brewery, they'll always have a little special place for me, Black Sheep. It's one of the breweries that, they were one of the first breweries to ever send to us on the channel. They sent us a box of beer. When was it? 2010. So that would have been like 12 years ago. When the channel was very small and barely anybody was watching. Black Sheep decided to send us some beer, and it was fantastic. Fantastic when it happened, because I was so excited. I was so excited to get like a box of ale from the brewery. One of the beers we called Holy Grail. It was like a Monty Python spin-off beer, or tribute beer to Monty Python. It was fantastic. But look at this. Wow, look at this. This looks really good. 3-finger, tight, light tan coloured head. It's definitely a ruby. Definitely a ruby. So it's a combination of your regular kind of red, maybe kind of like straw coloured malts, pale malts, and then it's a combination with a little bit of roasted malt put in there, and that helps to colour the beer the way it does. It's giving it a lovely chestnutty, ruby, mahogany colour to it. Beautiful. Good levels of carbonation. I picked this beer up in Morrison's. It was part of a it was a combination of 4 bottles and cans, really. 4 for £6. £6. It looks good. It looks good for a Christmas ale. It really does. Let's get the aroma. Yeah, it smells really good. Now I'm gonna say straight off the bat, and I'm pretty sure Black Sheep don't mind, because Black Sheep already know their market. But I think this would have been an amazing beer. It might still be an amazing beer, but I think it would have been an amazing beer if it was like something like 6% ABV. If Black Sheep took that kind of decision to go, do you know what? Nobody's really going to want to buy 6 bottles of this anyway and drink 6 bottles in a row. It's not that type of beer anyway. If they made it a 6% ABV, put a bit of horsepower behind it, I think this would have been absolutely fantastic. Again, I'm not judging it before I've even put it to my lips. I'm just saying, it's Christmas, it's freezing cold, it's -2 out here today in my little outside bar thing we got going on. I'm having to put this puffer jacket on, and I think that little bit of warming from the inside out, that little bit of alcohol warming that warms you from the inside out, that kind of, anything from 6% up does that. 4% Christmas beer, I don't know. Best thing to do is to get into it and see what happens. It's not bad, actually. It's not bad. It's rich, it's creamy, lovely mouthfeel. A little bit of sweetness to begin with, a little bit of bitterness from that roasted malt on the back end. Yeah, it's lovely. It's lovely, but I think the only thing that is lacking, I mean, look at that. Look at the conditioning of the beer. Look, it really does. It's a well-brewed beer. It's a really nice, well-brewed beer. But I think it needs more of an ABV. It needs more like 6%. If you're going to brew a Christmas beer, this time of year, flipping miserable out there, absolutely miserable and cold and foggy and ugh, it's like, I don't like it. I'm not a fan of winter. I'm not a fan of winter. It's even like this is a Christmas beer, and I long for, if you offered me, what I'm trying to say here, if you offered me the chance to skip Christmas just to get to spring, just to open the lid on my barbecue for the first time after a long winter, dust it down, and you're getting all excited, you know, you're buying your barbecue coals and you're getting your meat and you've got some beer in the fridge. I would much prefer that. The excitement of, like, the warmth of spring over Christmas. I like Christmas, I really do. I do like Christmas, but it daunts me. It daunts me a little bit because of just how dark and cold it is. It's just, and how I'm connecting that to a beer review, and I'm connecting it with a beer review is I generally drink strong beers this time of year. I'm looking at on my beer shelf there's some Imperial Stout, there's some double IPA, there's some Belgian strong ales. I want to forget the cold. I want that alcohol warming from the inside out to warm me from the inside out. Just give me a strong Christmas beer. This tastes nice, but I wouldn't want to necessarily session it. And at 4% ABV, they brewed it for exactly that. They brewed it to session. I don't think you could. I don't think you could drink 4, 5, 6 pints of this. It's a bit too... I mean, back 20 years ago, you probably could. And I mean that in the greatest of respects, in that you went to the pub. If you were an ale drinker 20 years ago, you went to the pub, there wasn't much on apart from a load of mainstream lager, and they might have had this. And then it's almost like you're being kind of like pointed down that road then of I either drink in the pub 4 pints of mass-produced lager or drink 4 pints of something with flavour. And then you would drink this with 4 pints of this with flavour. So I suppose if you go to a pub where they have this on, and it's this versus a load of mainstream lager, then you're going to choose this, aren't you? So you may drink 4 pints of this. But what I'm trying to say is that generally when you go to a pub these days, certainly a craft beer bar, there's a lot more selection. There's a lot more selection. It's like 18 different beers on the bar and that sort of thing going on. And you might start off with something like a 4%er. But then you're quickly moving on to something a little bit stronger. It's fun. It's a Christmas beer. I like it. It's flavoursome, it's biscuity, it's malty, it's bready, it's drinkable, it's refreshing. There's some fruit, there's some dark fruit on the back end, there's some raisin, plum and prune. There's a little bit of bitterness, there's some roasted malt, there's the chocolate, the coffee, the caramel. I like it. I like it as a beer, I really do. I just wish it was a bit stronger. Blitzen, packed with joy, love and festive cheer. Blitzen is an all-round Christmas miracle, brewed with cascading golden hops. Expect notes of rich, dark fruits laid over a bed of sweet and roasted malt. A subtle kick of pithy orange peel leaves a soft citrus finish, whilst muscovado sugar leaves subtle notes of caramel. There you go, there's the description for you. Yeah, it's a nice beer. It's a nice beer. I'm pretty sure plenty of people have bought it, plenty of people have enjoyed it. It kind of reminds me of that beer that comes out every year by Bateman's Brewery, is it? The old Rosy Nosy or whatever they call it. Kind of like you walk around the supermarket in December and you generally you see that beer every year in Morrison's. Good old Rosy Nosy. But yeah, rating from me. It's got nice lacing. It's got nice conditioning. It's a lovely beer. It's a lovely beer. I better rate it as a 4% beer because it's not a 6% beer, is it? Although I want it to be a 6% beer, it's not. It's nice for what it is. It's an 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. I just wish it was a bit stronger. Thanks for watching. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.